Hello, I am the normal playing guide. Hey, so we gotta do a video on these two new Eza'S coming out, sub Eza'S from the Turles Eza, right? And his Eza is low class warrior slash revenge kind of deal, right? So we have Great Ape Turles, fantastic. It's about time, and then we also have physical Goku as well, the one where he chucks the spirit bomb at Turles to save Christmas. Right, so we're on Goku, so we can have a touch on him. So previously, prior to this, didn't do much at all. It looked like he gained a little bit of stats per key sphere obtained, but he needs stats, right? So now we have physical types 3 key and 50%, and in types get more minus 43% attack. Interesting. Now I'm curious. If you went into Super Battle Road with a monotype with this, might only be 50%, but yeah, lowering the attack by 43%. And then you had like a double one. Well, you may have only double 50%, but you'd nerf their attack and defense into the ground. That could be really cool. Anyway, changes int key spheres to physical key spheres. So that's nice. 2 key 130% at the start of turn. That's nice. You're getting key and you're also getting a decent amount of stats. So Power of Wishes allies 30% to their stats. That's a 30% support, but no key. Fair enough. You get an additional 25% attack and 50% defense, and a chance of performing a crit plus 5% per kit. Jesus, 50% defense and 25% attack, and a chance of performing a crit plus 5% per key sphere obtained. So if you get 5 key spheres, you're on 125% attack. You're at like 250k defense. Well, plus you get 250% extra defense. You get 25% chance, dude. You can actually get like you could probably theoretically get like 7 or 8, and then you're up to like 300%, 400% defense, and you're getting like 350% attack. That'd be absolutely insane. And of course, you'd have like 40% chance to crit. He'd be orb hungry, but he'd be insane. So you randomly change key spheres of a certain type, but not the ones they change to physical key spheres, okay, plus an additional 25% attack per key sphere obtained on top of this for 3 turns when your HP is 59% or less, just for the want only. So he's a nuker in many a sense. So you have him on like a Power Wishes team, which I presume he's going to be on. Yeah, he's on. So Power Wishes. I mean, let's check out the teams he's on real quick. Yeah, Pure Saiyans, Goku Family, Power Wishes, Final Trump, Turtle, Movie Hero, Earthbred, Bond of Friendship, Bond of Parent. I'm pretty sure all of these have 200% teams, so you could do well. I mean, Rainbow Orb, well, not so much a Rainbow Orb changer, but an Orb changer. You think it's going to be changed to physical, and if you're getting 50% defense, right, on top of each one, and you're getting a lot, then you're going to be healing quite an awful lot, right? Especially if you give them as many orbs as possible. It's not going to be impossible to get him double-digit orbs. It's not going to be impossible. And with a little bit of fooling around with some orb changing items, could be pretty good. And you know the items that allow you to get attack as well per orb that you get could be pretty good. I mean, the guy could hit ridiculous. The fact that he's also a random support in there is pretty great because he doesn't have to be a support, but he's good. This will be interesting to see, like 50% attack per key sphere obtained. Well, you get it for 3 turns as well, but once only. That's pretty nuts. Uh, yeah, okay, so that is pretty bonkers. So, you fall below a certain threshold and your attack's going to jump up quite a lot. What do? So, you greatly lower defense, but raise allies' defense 30% for the turn. Now, you see, the thing is, that might actually work in slot 1, giving everyone the defense, because he gets this just with the orbs. He doesn't get it on attack. So, depending how it works, because I mean, like, you get, what's his stats? Coming in at 55%. Only 7,500. So that's because he's an older unit, really, realistically. But coming in with 7,500 is not a lot. But then again, if you come in with this and you give him a lot of orbs, theoretically in a 200% team, he could perform quite well. Yeah, he does have. He has no damage reduction. He has no guard, so you'd purely be relying on that. That being said, depending on how it works, yes, you could also theoretically heal. Right, you could use him in slot one and get a heal for the following turn. Coming in with just one dupe, 9,000, 14,000 attack. What's his attack to? Okay, so his attack is pretty respectable. Coming in at 100%, just over 10,000, 15,500 attack. That attack starts to look pretty good, actually, when you start factoring in both of these at that particular one. He's an old unit, so 2015, any player's been playing since around, well, hell, even the fifth anniversary has probably got this guy by now. You might not really have him at SA10 because, hell, you wouldn't put your resources into this point in time. But that being said, um, yeah, you probably will do now. He is pretty bonkers. Obviously, you're going to want to be able to do this, right? Because, like, when you hit level, I think you have to get it at least level 14 off your 15 before it does actually any tremendous damage. But you're going to want that, right? Because as you go up in your super attack power, you get the tremendous power that you get. So you maximize it. So you are going to want that. I can see this being quite a kooky unit. You can find a situation where you're probably going to be able to use them in slot one, and you're going to be fine. It all depends on the orbs. Perhaps you could say needs more start of turn stats. I mean, if you're going to put him as slot one and a ninth era, and well, we're on a ninth era, ninth year era, right? We need something a bit more potent. So yeah, fine. You could also argue you could give like at least one key, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't give key. Key's one of the biggest issues, but yes. Okay, so I still think it's pretty good. In terms of links, Z fighters on the family given that extra in fighter, same warrior race, fierce battle, experienced fighters prepared for battle. Okay, coming in with 25% defense and coming in with 5% attack and a little bit of key with plenty of attack. In terms of links, his attack is going to be pretty solid. Again, depending on how many orbs you get. Um, yeah, and then of course, with that extra defense, it's pretty good because there'll be a lot of people on here who would rock all in the family. So yeah, I'd imagine he'd be great in all of these teams, especially stuff like Turtle School, Earthbred, if you're struggling for movie heroes or Final Trump, could be good in there. So obviously his best linking partner appears to be another super physical, and that's Kaoken Goku. You'll notice he has prepare for battle and all in the family as the main one. Movie hero Goku, he has prepared for battle and has plenty of other attacking links, so they'll support each other a lot. Coming in with super physical, we have one of the better units, and that's this guy who has prepared for battle and plenty of attacking links. This guy who is pretty bonker, especially when he transforms. We're talking plenty of attack links prepared for battle. Coming in with the 8th anniversary units, coming in with prepared for battle. Super physical, plenty of attacking links there. Not too bad. Enraged Gohan has all in the family, right? So again, you'd be propping these two up by 20%. This guy's pretty decent, right? So again, you have that extra super physical. Right, this guy, he's going to have all in the family as well and prepared for battle. So again, going to look pretty good. Other usable units that you can point out in note. Well, this guy, he has prepared for battle, and this guy's pretty great. This guy is a bit underrated. I think the Vegeta's actually better than this guy. Oh no, it's the other way around. It's the STR version of him who should be pretty good. This guy is not that good. It's the STR. In fact, funny enough, no, the STR isn't on here. However, he works well with one of the Ultimate Gohans in particular because they have all in the family. And of course, you work well with the 8th anniversary units. You know, you have the key and stat link. So this unit sits pretty well in terms of places. Yeah, be pretty good. Obviously, it all just depends on just how many orbs you get. But he seems pretty well thought out. But perhaps theoretically, you could say, oh no, he does need to have a little bit more, given the caliber that he's supposed to be in. But hey, right. So now we have Great Ape Turles. For me, I've been waiting for this guy for a long time. His links are well and truly maxed out. I think all the Turleses basically got their links maxed. There's only one I haven't done, and that's this guy, but we can touch on it. There's been a few good Turleses now. So we have the new physical one, who we can compare side by side. We have the movie boss lead one, which is, of course, the AGL Turles, right? So you have got AGL Turles, who is probably on par with this, just as good as this guy. It all depends, right? I mean, this guy, he does stack attack, but like the AGL Turles, he does raise defense, and he also has his chance to stun. He has his transformation, which heals and stacks. I mean, the guy is pretty bonkers and powerful. But there's a few. So like this guy, he's a free to play unit, and honestly, he's pretty great. And then this guy comes around. So let's have a look. So he's an all types lead for those who are looking to grind links, and for those who just in general who are able to easy aim and you get to do your quests. Hey, he's an all types lead. So 120%. Interesting. It's worth noticing now that this guy. So when key is 9 or more, you auto supered because he gained 3 key when key is 9 or more. So you only needed to get a little bit. Yeah. So 120% at the start of turn, fine. What does he enter the game with? Coming in at 55%, 8,000. So he actually comes out slightly higher in terms of the rest. In terms of the new unit coming in at 55%, not the world behind, it's a couple of thousand behind. Coming in with the free to play unit, the free to play unit has 7.5, so we're still better. But again, 8,000 coming in with the new guy at nearly 11. It's 3,000. So you will see those, right? Okay, so coming in with 8,000 is not the worst, and 12,000 attack is pretty great. Coming in at Rainbow 11,500, just over 10,000 with a dupe. So ultimately, you will need pretty much a Rainbow unit in order to keep up with a 55% new Turles. So that's fine. Really, we should bring up the other Turles as well, the AGL, to see how he fits in. But a guy's also had his easy A, so again, the stats are not going to be quite as fair. So 120%, right. So you get 3 key and additional 120% when key is 9 or more. So that's really good. So you're basically doubling it, and you still maintain the fact that you auto super when key is 9. So that's pretty great. So as long as you get your 9 key, you're going to be looking pretty great. And this applies automatically. So you get an additional defense 120, and only additional 120 defense when there are 5 or more space traveling warriors on the team. So basically, you need a full team. That's actually pretty generous because space traveling warriors, terrifying conquerors, movie bosses, inhuman deeds, like a lot of them, they're all they're all kind of the same, right? They're all under the same umbrella. So that's actually not too bad. You launch an additional attack that has a 50% chance to become a super attack when there's a planetary destruction ally in the same turn or a low class category enemy. Pretty specific. Currently, if you wanted to grind the hell out of his sub easy A, yeah, that AGL Turles, you would get that. And then you turn into a giant ape. So that's good. So I mean, this is all nice. He has stats. He's going to have more, very easily more, and you get additional. So Space Traveling Warriors, let's have a look. So Space Traveling Warriors is pretty good. AGL Turles is on it, New Turles is on it, LR Turles, the free-to-play Turles. Let's see. Yeah, Metal Cooler's going to be on it, the Vegetas. Yeah, Coolers, all the Coolers, the Bojacks, the Freezers. Yeah, this is it's not going to be difficult. For example, this Turles is still pretty beast. This Turles is good. This Turles I still find to be better. He has key, he has like a stun chance, he's got a better transformation mechanic. He has a better leader skill personally because it's movie bosses and extreme, not planetary destruction, pure Saiyans. So I prefer him. So I do think he's better. Yeah, I do think he's pretty good though. For example, like yeah, Space Traveling Warriors. When this guy gets it, when these two get the easy A's, that'll be pretty nuts. He's going to work well with the banner units and respects. He will work out with pure Saiyans with this guy, right? He also has big bad bosses, by the way. So again, that would work out. Also also extreme AGL. Speaking of extreme AGL, we have Turles, and look what they share. In particular, it's not just like First for Conquest or Big Bad Bosses, but it's also Destroyer of the Universe, which is huge, massive attack and a decent chunk of defense. And when it comes in for like a perfect support for this guy, but really AGL and AGL, it makes sense. Monotype Super Battle Road between these two with movie bosses, yeah, that's pretty demonic. But yeah, so that's also pretty good. In fact, this guy's Extreme AGL. He's an Extreme AGL for Super Battle Road. So you could rock him, you rock the Great Ape Turles. You can rock this guy who also has big bad bosses. In particular, he can also transform. Hell, that's half your team, right? And a lot of these are old. So it's fair to say that people probably have this guy probably nearly rainbow. Because I say he is quite old. They both came out in like 2015. This guy came out in 2017. But yeah, so he seems good. So having been able to Space Traveler Warriors is pretty good. 50% chance to do an additional super with a planetary destruction. Sure, because I mean Turles is on it, Cooler's on it, babies on it, sure. I mean, yeah, okay, it ain't going to be a problem. The only downside I would really see is so he has this, but it'd be nice if alongside his additional attack, he built up maybe it might not strictly just be with any attack, but it could be he builds up with super attacks, so it's a lot like the new Turles. Just a little something extra might be more appropriate, right? Just feel like he needs just an extra kick. That being said, this guy seems pretty solid because like you're getting quite a lot of defense. I mean, you're getting 360% in the right situation, and 360%, no matter how low this is, that's kind of relevant. And he's going to be on a 200% team for the stuff like Pure Saiyans, Terrifying Conquerors, Planetary Destruction, movie bosses. It's going to work. Even Giant Ape Power probably has something that you could work alongside with. So what does he happen in his Great Ape? So now he has a chance. It looks like has a chance. So usually has a chances around 15%. So that's probably about right. So let's have a look. So he now gets. So what does he have? Not too much there. Does he legitimately get? Oh, he doesn't actually have much. So he has no key. Wow, he has nothing put in. He massively raises attack. Yeah, okay, so he is going to hit ridiculously hard. Massively raises attack. If you double super, then that'll be huge. But there's no key. There's no super effective against all types. Oh, I'm not supposed to he needs it, but more importantly, he's going to need 6 orbs, which is pretty ridiculous. Either this is a glitch, or you need 6 orbs. No, not even 1 key, not even 2 key, no nothing. That's a bit. That sucks a little bit, doesn't it? Because I mean, like you get this, but you won't be able to use it because the keyboard, the field of key could just be, it could actually take you out there. It could be pretty rubbish. Nonetheless, this guy's pretty good. But in terms of like a Turles in particular, how does it fare? Well, I mean, like yeah, okay. So we have the new guide as a measuring stick. He's good. You got like the AGL Turles, who, I mean, maybe he's better because he has his Easy A. His Easy A is pretty decent. He's also a fantastic support. And he has a better leader skill personally. It's not a 200% team, but like having movie boss and flat out extreme kind of works out in your favor. And then, of course, you have your stun chance, right? I mean, this guy stacks attack, but it's not as if the AGL Turles is pretty rubbish, right? And then, of course, you have this guy who's also surprisingly good. Remember, this guy, he's free to play. He comes out from the revamped story event, and it's stage 6, saying Turles, and you get him. So feel free. He will probably have an easy A at some point in his life, so feel free to get an additional one with +5 so you can get straight there. That would be the smart move if you were looking for things to do. So again, he's down here, but honestly, he's pretty great. He raises defense by 30%. Again, 2 key, 120%. You get an additional with extra and guard with additional enemies, right? And it looks like you have a nice, for a nice little niche, if the target is an attack down, which is not exactly difficult these days, you can evade attack. When facing two or more enemies with attack down, that's applicable in Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road. It's applicable. He also, it's just he has a little bit of everything, right? Lowers attack, chance to stun, chance to guard, and chance to dodge. He literally does bit of this, bit of that. In the right situation, when all of this goes out, because he lowers the attack, he stuns somebody, he guards, he dodges. You'll find a situation in Super Battle Road when all that will come out. Honestly, it seems pretty good. He's completely free, so we can value him at 9,000. 9,000 puts him slightly better than this guy, and much closer to the new guy. So again, 9,000. His attack pretty poor for what it is, actually. But his start of turn defense with the extra, AGL Turles will be able to get slightly higher, the Great Ape one, because he has 120, an additional at key 9, an additional pending on the groups. So this guy will fall behind, but it for a free to play unit is legitimately quite good. Again, the links coming in. So links, this guy is massive. Destroy the universe, a thirst for conquest, big bad bosses. You want to get them as high as you can because they massively help out. Imagine having 15% start of turn, 15% start of turn with attack, some more attack, and then 25% at the start of turn. Dude's getting like 55% to stats. It's pretty monstrous. This is where these guys can look pretty nasty, but without these at the high end links, they can look a bit underwhelming. But yeah, that's going to be it. So nice new sub easy A's. You have to go through it all again and then again, right, for Goku and this Great Ape Turles. But they do seem pretty worth it. Some videos will be coming up shortly of what they do. They're all pretty great. But that's going to be it. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. And if you liked it, good. And if you didn't, well, that sucks to be you. But thank you and bye bye.